Luke Brown is my baby. I'm ready for y'all to learn about Luke Brown. And Luke Brown is not even the character, the main character. Ava is. So let me see if I can pull up Luke Brown in my phone. I'm going to read it to y'all. So Luke Brown is another book that's loosely based on my life. Freshman year, where I was not focused in college at all. Getting my groove on, hard on the dance floor, not caring about breaking a sweat. My pecan tan is glistening, captivating many men. Many ask to dance. I either back away or politely shake my head no. Only trying to dance with one man, only trying to captivate the attention of him. He isn't here. He's at work, but I will still see him at the after party. Nevertheless, I was caught up in the beat, hypnotizing this crowd. Getting my groove on with my girls, looking forward to laying my eyes on him. Unexpectedly, the hypnosis is broken when I turn around and find myself lost in those browns. I can't look away, I can't shake my head or put up my hands or direct him to the other direction. Slowly, we are drawn to each other on a reggae beat. Terror fabulous action. I meet him halfway without hesitation, forgetting who my heart beats for. At this moment, my only desire is to lure him in. Nadine Sutherland is singing lyrics resembling my train of thought. I need some action, tender satisfaction. Yes, I would love some action. Action from the other guy. I don't know this guy. What is going on? What is this feeling taking over me? My chemistry is flowing. Can you cause a chain reaction? Both of us are swaying to the thumping of the bass. Saying he is fine is an understatement. His complexion is the same chocolate flavor, but his overflows into his pupils. Chocolate drops causing me to stop being enthralled in the beat and my oath to swear off any men seeking my attention. I should only want the attention of him. The other him. The him who had to work. The him who we will connect later and have our own dance session. Eyes locked, body still rocking to the same rhythm, my hands resting on his strong, broad shoulders, skin touching as his hand grabs my waist from time to time. Tonight, my shirt waits until now to rise slightly above my belly button. My tummy must have whispered to my shirt, crawl up so I can feel the smoothest of his strong hands. She obliges while causing the distance between us to disappear. Surprisingly, I didn't object to her request. These browns have me wanting to feel his caress. Lost in our world, better yet, we blast off into another planet. I don't know how many songs that have played, but we're deep in Jamaica at one point. Most guys use this as an excuse to grind from behind, but not this guy. When I would turn around, he would smoothly turn me back around to face him, to melt in those browns. Touching his hands gently gives me a feeling I never felt before. It is weird. We're just dancing, but I feel like this chemistry, this fire. The brother is fine, but it is something more to him, and a part of me wants to know more. And then someone has the nerve to snatch me back to Jamaica. Feeling a tap on my shoulder, Ava, sweetheart, calls out my homegirl Cheyenne. After pulling me to the side, she attempts to whisper in my ear, stripping me from brown. We're about to roll out, headed to the after party. Okay, I agreed to leave with a ride while remembering why I'm here. The plan is to land the brother in red, not get lost in a sea of brown. I turn back around, I gotta go. Where you headed? Inquires Brown. Gave him this look, raising my eyebrows, questioning what? Not trying to get in your business. He pulls me back into him, but I thought we were vibing. You trying to leave now? Gotta remember why I'm here. My heart beats for Nate. The reason why I'm so amped to ride an hour down the road to party Harley, then end up in the arms of Nate. It's a girls' night out. No boys allowed. I misspeak, wanting to say. Can I get your number? He pulls me closer to the point our lips almost touch. Without my name? I'm trying to play it cool. I don't know him, so he is getting... But how is he getting to me? Almost got me thinking, bump Nate. Brown's breath is so freaking fresh. And how is this cologne not smelling musty in the middle of all this funk and sweat? Intoxicating, but I refuse to get drunk off Brown. I heard your girl call you Ava. I love the way he said my name. No, I will not kiss him. How would I know who was calling? He licks his lips and utters, Luke Bernard. But my boys call me LB. Okay, Luke. I flash a smile. Do you have a pen? He reaches in his pocket in the customary practice of the male species, and out comes a piece of ripped paper and a black ink pen. He graciously turns around so I can tattoo what is supposedly my digits on his back through the paper. Here you go. Cool. He reaches for the embrace that almost made me forget why I'm here. Ava, Sha shouts. I won't hold you up, Luce releases me. Thanks. Bye. Desperately, I want to turn back, but I can't face the man I will never see again. Yo, who was that? Cheyenne grabs me from the arm. Some guy. I perpetrate wiping the sweat off my face. It takes everything in me not to turn around. I can feel Brown gazing in my direction, not sure if I'm strong enough to resist the Brown hypnosis. So I head through the exit while Shy and the rest of the crew, Jada and Melly Mel, aka Melanie. I thought I was going to hear you were going home another way, teases Mel. Why are y'all tripping? She is only feeling nasty Nate. Where is he, by the way, speculates Shy. He had to work. We get into Mel's car, making that money so he can spend it on his honey, saying Mel while cracking up in the car. I'm not his honey yet. Don't rush it. Don't trust the frat boy, speaks up Jada. Everyone gives her the crazy look. What? I flirt with them, but I'm not going to be trying to make them my boo. They all got all types of females throwing their panties at them. Ain't trying to deal with this foolishness. And I'm going to stop right there because I gave y'all way too much. So that opening scene I just read to y'all happened in real life for me. So had this huge crush on this guy from high school, and we got connected again in college like Ava does with Nate. And I like him. In real life, it was obvious I was a notch on his belt. And even though I liked him, I didn't go all in like Ava does in this book. Like, Ava hits a level of delusion that her homegirls are like, child, what is wrong with you? But in real life, I went to Columbia to it was a frat party. And I don't even think it was a frat party. I just remember it was a USC party. I went to Winthrop, and at the USC party, I'll never forget where the place was. If you go down Gervais, there used to be a Firestone, and there used to be a club on top of it. It's crazy. And I remember we went to the club and we were dancing, and this guy who comes in, and I'm just like, oh, who is that? And I remember we danced on a reggae set, and what you don't get in there, the reason why Ava said she never's going to see him again is because Ava gave him the wrong number on purpose, and that's what I did in real life. But Luke finds a way to see Ava again, because Luke, like the guy I saw in real life, the guy I met in real life, Luke runs into someone, a cousin. And in real life, the guy I was dancing with at the club, he's talking to his cousin. He's like, man, I met this girl and he's talking me up. And I don't think I gave him, which, listen, ladies, if you're going to give a man the wrong number, give him the wrong name, okay? Because they can look you up. So he was talking me up and talking about me, and I have a very unique name, Brian. Not too many females are named Brian. So his cousin, who was my homeboy, said, oh, she goes to school with me. I got you. I'm going to give you the right number. So we end up reconnecting, and we actually dated briefly. Yeah. But in the book, Luke keeps popping up while Ava is still trying hard to make it work with Nasty Nate. First of all, why are you feeling a person who people call Nasty Nate? Like, why is that a thing? Why are you that crazy and delusional that you really think your love can transform the nastiness to purity? And not saying that doesn't happen. There are some men who admit they completely stopped doing what they were doing because they loved that woman and they did not want to jack that up. But nasty, and I'll admit, and that's why I look forward to revisiting this book, because I have to go back and do some edits, because ever since I wrote it, this was before I got the editor that I have now, and she taught me some things that I learned that I don't do well. So I want to go back and revisit Luke Brown, because she said I'm dialogue heavy. So I have to watch my dialogue and make sure that my dialogue is not 2 and 3 and 5 pages long. You know, you want to have more of the thoughts of the character and what they're thinking. So, because where I had the story ending originally, there's an incident that borderline happened to me in college where if I didn't have enough common sense and God wasn't with me, I could have been sexually assaulted that night. And in the book, it goes even further with her. And she's at a party and she's drinking and she doesn't realize, I guess, how much the alcohol is affecting her. And that happened to me real life freshman year. And initially, that's where I ended the book. Like I couldn't stop. Like once I got to that point, I stopped it. And then when I added it more, I did not have Nate coming back in the picture because he's involved in this incident that happens at this dance, at this party. And I didn't have him coming back, but he ends up coming back in a major, like this definitely can be a movie. Luke Brown can definitely be a movie, and Reverse can be a movie or a TV series. So, I mean, anything I write, I feel like can be a movie or a TV series. Just got to get it done. But Luke Brown, I'm thinking about 2026. I wanted it to come out 2025, but given how long me and my editor worked on Reverse, I think it's a minimum 6 months it's going to take us to edit it. minimum. Now we get it done quicker than that, then y'all gonna hear about it, but I'm gonna hype it up. I'm actually gonna start doing pre-orders for Luke Brown, because when I talk about it, my adult friends are like, girl, I need that book. Like, they not trying to read reverse, they trying to read Luke Brown. So yeah, so it's what I like about Luke Brown. He's not the savior. Normally in a story like this, giving the demise and the path Ava was on, ideally you would have the dude rescuing her, and I made sure that didn't happen. I made sure she had to rescue herself, and the issue is she going to rescue herself? So, but when people rescue themselves, it's usually because people in your life don't let you go, and they keep speaking life into you. And I don't know if y'all caught on to that, but Jada was definitely that person who did not hold her tongue. Cheyenne and Mel just kind of ran with it, which, if I be honest, that was my crew. Borderline, that was my crew in college. I didn't have anyone as bold as Jada, but it was 4 of us who hung together real tight and partied really hard. And this is the last thing, and I'm gonna go for real. This is when I also discovered that they were really my friends, because at the time it was 3 of us, because one of them, I remember, she stopped hanging, which I can see why she did that. But anyway, we were at a party, almost the party that's referenced in this book here, the incident I told you about with the sexual assault. And I'll never forget this. So at the time, the guy who I told you I had the crush on, okay, the guy who I had the crush on, you can tell he had moved on with his life. But not only do you move on, you're trying to holler at my girl who I came to the party with in front of me. And being overly dramatic, I decided to get drunk. I remember it was a Fruitopia, and I asked one of the dudes, we were at the quads at USC, and I asked him to mix up my drink. It was I remember a green apple Fruitopia, and I had that. Then there was 2 fraternities who they had these quads, and they had 2 simultaneous parties. So people were just going back and forth. And the other fraternity had what they call, I'm not gonna say what the name of the punch was, but it was like all 5 of the white liquors in one. I had 2 cups of that. You couldn't even taste it though. That's the crazy part. Like even Everclear, vodka, gin was all in this concoction. So I'm stumbling drunk, like can't walk 5 steps without falling drunk. And my homegirls are sober, thankfully. But so I remember going to one particular room, laying on the couch, trying to sleep it off. And this random guy comes in. He was part of one of the fraternities, and tried to come on me. And I said, I know you're not trying to F me. And I pushed him off, and he tried to come on me again, and I pushed him off again. So he leaves. But as he's leaving, no one sees him. My homegirls come back in the room. Now, if I was to go back to this, y'all, I remember he walked in the room and his homeboy saw him coming in the room. So he took my homegirls into the room and closed the door where they couldn't see him. So when they come back in the room and I say, well, someone's trying to mess with me. Of course, I didn't use that exact language. They say, what are you talking about? You were the only one in here. Okay. So the homeboy who was looking out for his homeboy comes to me and says, how about this? Y'all 2 go enjoy the party. Ryan, I'll sit with you and make sure nobody messes with you. And I just want to lay down because the room is spinning. I just want to lay down and go in the room with him. And I remember Nelly. That's when Nelly dropped Country Grammar. And he started trying to put his hand down my shirt. And I was like, I know you're not trying to F with me. Stop. And I stumbled out the room. And I finally made my way to a phone. And I called my homeboy, who was really my homeboy. And I was like, you need to come get me. Just come get me now. Because my homegirls weren't ready to leave the party. So I'll admit the exact opposite. I wouldn't say the exact opposite. How I changed that scene in the book is Ava is with her homegirls. but Nate is there. Luke ends up showing up, but it's one of the most dramatic scenes in the book. Like what all goes down at this party between Luke and Nate and Ava. And then that happens again. Like it, so when one thing that authors can tell you, you have some authors, they have a timeline, they have an outline, but y'all, a lot of these characters do what they want to do. Like you may have in your head what you're going to have people do. And then as you start writing, it's like they manipulate your hand. It's hard to describe if you're not a writer. But I did not have Nasty Nate doing some of the things that he did in my book, and he did some stuff. It was bad. It got worse. Worse and worse. It got worse and worse. Like yeah, like I look forward to releasing this, and this is definitely going to pose a lot more discussions. This is not something I would want my middle school kids to read, even though when they found out about it, I want to read that one. But this is something I would love for juniors and seniors in high school. Definitely need to read it, because sadly, some of our girls get caught up going to college because people don't have real conversations with them, and we need to have real conversations with our girls, because sadly, as soon as they get on campus, the older men sniff them out like prey. The locals come on campus and sniff them out like prey. The fraternities, the athletes, if they can run through them, they're going to. And that inspired me to have a series. Like people talk about roses. I've been doing roses like stuff since I was in college. I remember having a forum. Granted, it did not get the attendance I wanted, but it was literally called Woman's Worth Fresh Meat Edition. Like basically that was one of the topics where we talked about not being a statistic, because you don't know your worth. You need to know. If you know your worth, you won't fall for it. So yeah, that I look forward. So I had who I dedicated the book to, my beta readers, Jasmine and Sean. And Sean reached out to me months ago, like, Machine, when you gonna release the book? I was like, it's a process. So that one, I'll admit, we're looking at January 2026 will be the earliest. The latest would be June of 2026. That'll be the absolute latest.